coffee there. Let's see. Michael, you want to lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Alrighty, let's start here with table 1, visiting Rotarians and guests.
It's done differently.
It is.
This is from the front, that's from the side. It's like at the police office.
This is David Mark Raymond from Sojourning Sunrisers.
Oh, I thought I was going to be introduced.
Is it? I did.
There you go.
Now I can sit
I
down?
thought you were. We do it.
And our guest here?
Oh, yes, I have a guest too, sorry.
Fiona, this is Zoe, and this is Gigi, and we're from Interactive.
Alright,
This is my guest, Jennifer Coriel.
Alright, going around the room, other guests. Hello Mary, hello Asher. Let's see, back there.
Girl Scout cookies in front there.
I'm really happy that I have some flat family here today. This is my daughter Danielle and her partner Ryan.
All right, and this table here.
Yes, we've got our guest speakers today. This is Robbins and Ann Holcomb from For People.
Sophie Salcedo, president of Holcomb.
And actually, Mary, I'll give you a chance right now to make an announcement if you have one. Girl Scout cookies, did I hear that? Yes? No?
I won't be here later after the meeting, but I'll be here next week.
Okay. Sounds good. So please check it on Facebook and let everyone know what's going on before 8 o'clock. Did we have any travelers last week? Anything fun that anyone wants to recognize? Terry?
Marty and I went to San Francisco last week and we had a great day. It was all set up for Chinese New Year throughout the town, so it was fun. We had lunch at the Cheesecake Factory, which is on the 8th floor of Macy's on Union Square, and we sat outside and ate lunch in January. Who gets to do that? We saw a play, we walked through Chinatown, found dim sum for dinner, got back to the van, and somebody had smashed a hole in the window of my van. A future inmate of Pelican Bay, I'm pretty sure. And probably a previous inmate. So I called my sister the next morning and I said, well, the good news is, you can fill in the blank. I called them, who smashed my van window, did not find your birthday present in the back, because I'd been to Nordstrom earlier and had gone through, like Sherman went through Atlanta, and I had all my shopping in the back, but they didn't see that. They stole my really cheap sunglasses and my manicure and pedicure bags, which, they had those little toe holders in it, and I hope they get some kind of, I hope they're bleeding from the glass. But I have a new window as of yesterday, all is good.
Anybody else do any traveling? Brian?
My son and I went down to Sacramento to see a Kings game, Kings versus the Bulls. Yeah.
All right.
So we were in a sea of purple. My son's got his Red Bulls jersey on. So he enjoys that. He's busy explaining halfway through the game that he really is a Kings fan, but he just likes one player on the Bulls.
That's fair. That's fair. Awesome. Anybody else do any traveling they'd like to mention? All right. Moving on to anniversaries. We didn't have any, sadly, last week. Hopefully we'll have some coming up soon. But we did have some birthdays. Jeff, you had a birthday last week.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about it. It was
exciting.
Yeah, well, it was number 50 for me, so it was a big one. So it was on a Saturday, so I spent it with my dad, which was great. And we just came up here to the Plaza Grill and had a dinner. And I actually had to go in and work because we were doing a data center cutover. So as I said, it was pretty uneventful, unfortunately. So maybe I'll be able to have a better 51.
Yeah. And Maggie, you as well. A couple days after that.
Yeah. Well, I started on Friday. You guys put on the 26th birthday party, my 29th anniversary of my 26th birthday party. So that was nice. I enjoyed that. And then, and I just carried it through. Saturday, I was thinking about how people always go to Larapin's, and So I thought about that and I put some Larapins on a sandwich I had. I'm gonna go to Larapins and it wasn't my birthday. And then Sunday, of course, there was a big party and we had Justin Timberlake there and that was
The whole nation celebrated.
and on the side we said, oh yeah, Maggie, happy birthday tomorrow. And then on my birthday I had dinner with my neighbors and friends and had a lot of different cakes. Monday I went to, it was actually my birthday on Monday and I went to work. Also had to work, but it was a Monday. So.
You were Rotarian.
Oh yeah. And I was waiting for the cake that they were going to bring me. So and then I got pretty caked out. So I had a good evening and it was fun. But, too many parties. I woke up actually on my birthday feeling a bit worse for wear. So.
Oh yeah, it sounds like a good one. So, you want to lead us in a happy birthday?
Certainly. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rotarians. Happy birthday to you.
Moving on. So Doubleday, yes, that was awesome. Thank you. I want to thank you again to the Fellowship Committee, Jessica and Romy and everyone else on that for putting it together. It was a great night, a good time. So the final count for the day in the morning here, we had 49. And that evening, we had 66, giving us a grand total for the day of 115 Rotarians participating in the event. So you count twice. We showed you twice.
This is how the government makes us do our best.
Exactly. It's a little inflated, so what?
President, I have two things that were left behind. If anybody is missing a metal bowl, and I'm sorry I forgot to bring it this morning, a metal bowl about this big around and about this tall with a bamboo serving dish or serving implement, had pasta salad in it, I do believe. So I have that. And then also, did anybody lose a light blue Athleta women's jacket? So that seems to have shown up also. Not sure if it belongs to anybody here. So if either of those are missing, please see me. I'll get them to you.
Thanks, Jess. Yeah. So part of our Doubleday fund was the Super Bowl donation opportunity. So quarter by quarter we went through and had the poll going. So the very first quarter, Eagles 9, Patriots 3, and that lucky winner was Scott, who gets $40 for that. He actually told me that he wasn't going to be here today, so he wanted to donate his $40 to Izzy for her ski trip. And so,
way to start it off, Scott.
I know, right? Second quarter, 22 to 12. The 2-2 was not a winning square. Third quarter, 29-26. 9-6 wasn't winning, so this money is rolling over to the final quarter. Final score is 41-33, which happened to be Mr. Bob Johnson, and I don't see him here today, but yeah, he won $103,000. And then the remaining $200 will go to Terry for the foundation, so that was a fun pool. So, recognition. So, Rachel, want to tell us a little bit about this?
Yeah. I attempted, well, I actually did. I drove my grandpa's 1951 Studebaker. So he passed away in 2015, and then my grandma passed away in December. So we inherited the Studebaker, which he restored in the 90s and was in car shows, was in the Majestic, and he had a bunch of other cars, but this was his first. So yeah, it's been a long time since I drove a stick, let alone a 3 on the tree where the stick shift is up here. And the starter is a button on the floor. So, and the seat doesn't move forward, so I'm like tiptoeing with this big steering wheel.
Some blocks.
I need some blocks, yeah. So this was in Ferndale Bottoms, and it happened to be a sunset when we took the picture, so it's pretty cool. So yeah, me and Melinda will be in car shows in the near future, so that's for us.
Yeah, right. It looks like a classic 50s photo, though. That's like just drove off a lot. All right, any other recognitions people want to mention or set? Please continue to send recognitions to this email or Joyce or myself. Events, Ascension Park cleanup is coming up on the 10th of February. Is Brandy here this morning? She's not. She's probably crabbing. So anyway, she'll tell us more about that the closer we get to it.
Well, tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
I guess she'll go.
She said, yeah,
and closed-toe shoes, and they'll provide some gloves, and we'll just get some work done out there.
Beautiful. All right. Let's see, March 3rd, down the line on Pancake Breakfast and History Day. So, Jeff?
There's still time if you haven't sponsored and you're thinking about it. There's still time to do that. For the pancake breakfast, it's really important as that pays for Darcy Robbins and all the good that she does for the kids there. And History Day is March 3rd. Sign up to be a judge.
Beautiful. And let's see, the spring fundraiser I'll talk about in a second. And Adopt the Highway in April, and the Big Brothers Big Sisters Mentor Challenge. Laura will bring us a flyer when she's ready for us to jump in on that. So without further ado, I put flyers on everyone's table. We've got those ready to go, so feel free to take them. I've got more if you need them. Put them up in the window and start soliciting tables and get these suckers sold. We've got a good start here. We do need a little bit more sign-up participation from the club, so I'll resend around the sign-up genius for everyone to really dive in and see where they can help. And, if you'd like to, please do show up every Wednesday at the Plaza Grill, 6 o'clock. We have our fundraiser meeting there, so if you can just show up for a half hour even and kind of get in the mix, that would be beautiful. But that's looking shaping up real nice. It's going to be a fun one. So, does anyone else have anything to say about the fundraiser, Romy or Lisa or anybody or? Nothing? It's going good. It's coming along. So yeah.
Silent auction, raffle. As soon as you can get your emails into me of what you've collected, that would be great because we're trying to fill out the spreadsheet and make sure we've got everything covered. The more, the better. It's great to have a lot on the table, but it's a lot to put it all together and. Make sure you also put your minimum bids in also on it.
That's
so that
really helpful. We definitely need to know that.
Because we don't want to guess
the
what it's
value,
going to be.
a minimum bid, really helpful.
Yeah, but March 1st is hopefully the deadline, so please try to get everything in by then.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I had a question.
Yes.
The sign up genius, when you sign up for certain slots, you think you're signing up for one, but then it kind of says you're there the whole day.
Yeah. I don't have time slots in there quite yet.
Okay.
So after everyone's signed up and anything, then we'll put it in for the time slot. But if you do sign up and you can only work certain times, just put it in the notes field.
Okay.
And so then it'll make it easier to organize once the time comes. So good question. Moving on, Izzy, you want to tell us a little bit about your week?
Sure.
Yes, no?
So, on Friday we started over double day, yay, and I liked it a lot.
Excellent.
I liked the food. And on Saturday I went shopping with Julie for my junior prom shoes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you have a prom date yet? All right.
And yeah, tomorrow is junior prom, so I'm excited. And yeah, and I have the Valentine's art form.
I'll do one more.
One more. Yeah. Somebody wants some Valentine's?
Back and back here.
So yeah, I'm gonna be doing Valentine's from Sunday through Wednesday, every day, the whole day.
You sound thrilled. That's that. All right, Izzy, thank you. Is awesome. All right, so that brings us to our guest speaker here, so Carol.
All right. Well, I'm really pleased to introduce our speaker from Food for People. As many of you know, I'm on the board, Food for People, the current board chair, so it's near and dear to my heart. And so we have a double duty on the speakers here. Ann Holcomb is the executive director of Food for People, and she's been there since 2001. And she has more than 35 years of nonprofit experience in nonprofit management. Ann's a member of the board of directors for the California Association of Food Banks and serves as the chair of the Remote Rural Food Banks Committee. And Carly Robbins is the development director for Food for People. She's also a board member of the Rotary Club of Eureka. And she was a founding member and past president of Los Angeles Rotary Club. Yeah, she holds a PA and critical and visual studies.
We could talk about that one.
Yeah, I know, I'm really curious about that from the Pratt Institute. So anyway, with no further ado, I'd like to bring Carly in.
Well, thanks everyone for having us. Just a little side note, the reason I am employed at Food for People, know of Food for People, was because I volunteered with Backpacks for Kids way back when with Rotary. So it all comes together. Rotary brings it all together. Food for People, we are the food bank for Humboldt County. We serve 12,000 individuals throughout the county every single month. Photos are just going to cycle. We'll just let it go. So that's approximately 10% of the population here in Humboldt County. And to put that into a little bit of perspective, the census data shows that actually 21% of people in Humboldt County live at the poverty line. So we're serving about 10% when 21% could actually maybe use our services. So we're trying hard to get our services out there. We do serve countywide, so that's as far north as Oric, south to Garberville, out to Koopa, Willow Creek, some more remote areas. We make it out to Bridgeville, Orleans, Wichita. So we really try and extend our services. We have programs that's another one of our board members.
Love veggies.
Love veggies. So we have programs that target different demographics in different areas. One of the big ones is children. This is one that you guys know very well because you're well involved with our Backpacks for Kids program. But both of our children's programs aim to feed kids when they're not receiving nutritional assistance at schools. So, you know, as we all know, our schools do a good job of trying to feed children during the day. If they qualify, they can get free or reduced cost meals. In Humboldt County, 56% of children qualify for free or reduced cost meals. So that's a large portion. And our programs aim to feed them when they don't have that safety net. So that's our Children's Summer Lunch Program, where children can come and get a free lunch weekdays during the summer. It takes the burden off the family. Suddenly they have to provide 1 or 2 meals per day more for a kid than they were doing during the school year. So it takes a lot of burden off the family. And then Backpacks for Kids, as you all probably already know, aims to serve children over the weekend. So we send them home with enough food for 2 breakfasts, 2 lunch, 2 dinner, and some snacks for the weekend. And it has been shown to greatly improve children's cognitive ability, their physical health. They're more prepared and ready to learn when they get to school on Monday. Just because you guys are such wonderful partners in that program, we actually were able to do a survey last year to ask the kids, you know, what it is that they like, you know, impacts of the program, is there anything they don't want at all, so we can make adjustments and make sure the program's effective. But I did want to share just a few quotes from that, which were, one child said, you know, thank you, we really need the food because we don't always have enough money. And that's striking for a child that young to know that about their own family. And the other really impactful one was, I don't always eat after school, but on Fridays I do. So that shows you what a large impact this program is having. And thank you guys for all you do, funding and packing and delivering. It's a lot of work and we really appreciate everything that you do. On the other end of the spectrum, we have our senior programs. So that we have 3 different senior programs that aim to help people 60 plus or homebound individuals who are in need of nutritional assistance. In Humboldt County, our population of seniors is growing, and a lot of them are living on low fixed incomes, so they need a little extra help to be able to make what they get monthly stretch, and that's where we come into play. We have wonderful volunteers. Carol is actually a volunteer who will pick up food at the food bank and deliver it to seniors or homebound individuals who can't make it out of the house, which is a wonderful, wonderful thing. And then I'll hand it over to Ann.
Well, just one other thing I'd like to say about our volunteers is that the number of hours our volunteers contribute over the course of the year is the equivalent of 19 full-time staff positions.
We would never do all that we do without them.
And I think one of the other areas of focus that we've tried to really be thoughtful about is that it's certainly important to provide people with food when they're hungry and when they're struggling and they don't have the resources to keep food on the table for themselves and their families. But we also try to see what other impact we can have on people's lives through a variety of strategies. You know, one, I think a lot of people know that we do a lot of outreach and application assistance for the CalFresh program, helping folks you know, expand their resources to be able to purchase food for themselves and their families. And that's been a very strong program and a great partnership with the county over the years. We do a lot of nutrition education. We have a great guy right now, Matt, who formerly worked with Fish and Wildlife and took a kind of a detour in his life. But he develops recipes when we have different fruits or vegetables that people may not be familiar with. Like a couple of months ago, it was spaghetti squash. Nobody knew what to do with spaghetti squash. We had bins and bins of it. So he prepared these taste tests and gave people recipes so that they could figure out what to do with that on their own. And we do cooking classes. We've done cooking classes with kids at the Jefferson Neighborhood Project and with adults. You know, we are looking for space right now because we were using the Eureka Co-op kitchen and they are under construction in there and using that space for their deli. But it's been really fun and a great way to engage people and help them learn how to put together healthy meals for themselves. We do a lot of advocacy work, trying to address the root causes of poverty and hunger. A lot of that, some of it's local, but more of that is at the state and federal level. And one of the things that a lot of people have not known about us, because we haven't done a very good job of highlighting it, is that we have work readiness programs, and we've been doing this for a couple of decades now. We have worked with many, many welfare to work clients and work experience folks, student interns, and they come in and they gain some of the basic job skills. And I'm really proud to say so many of them have gone on to get good paying jobs, and they're solid. So their future has really changed for the better. And they're no longer relying on us at the food bank. Some of them are now donating or volunteering their time when they're available. And our focus is also on keeping it healthy. We really believe strongly that the food we provide should be as healthy as possible. Lots of fresh produce. We do 4 seasonal free produce markets from May through October in Redway, Garberville, Fortuna, and Eureka. We have a mobile produce pantry that goes to the outer reaches of Humboldt County, Orleans and Wichita, Carlotta, Hoopa, and so forth. And again, it's just introducing people to the fresh produce that we have, which folks were telling us for years that they couldn't afford. And last year, more than a third of the food, the 2 million pounds of food we distributed was fresh produce, which I think was great. And, you know, we try to be good stewards in the community as well. And we've had a program for years where we collect food from the local grocery stores. It's a food recovery effort. And that can amount to over 500,000 pounds a year on some years. So we're diverting that food from the landfill. We're making sure that edible food gets into the hands of the people who really need it. And it's been a great partnership with the business community. And last but not least, we are going to be having some exciting things in the future. We're looking at expanding our footprint and our services. And there'll be more about that later on. But I wanted to put the word out there that we have been looking for warehouse space for a while now because we need to expand our storage capacity so we don't have to turn donations away and we can do more bulk purchasing. But the cannabis industry in Eureka has pretty much swooped up and taken almost every warehouse space we can find. So if any of you have any leads, please feel free to give us a call and we'll track things down.
Yeah, we're definitely looking hard for warehouse space. As a lot of us are aware, with all the fires and everything that's happened in Humboldt County recently, being prepared for emergencies is also something that's high on our top priority list. Right after the fires in Sonoma, we actually were able to send some staff down to our partner food bank, Redwood Empire in Santa Rosa, to see what it was like having to suddenly respond to so much more need in the community, because when the natural disaster or emergency strikes, the food bank becomes everyone's food bank instead of just a small part of the population. So we're looking for warehouse space. Any ideas? We'll take them. Okay, anyone have any questions?
A few years ago, I heard that if everybody who was qualified for CalFresh, which is what food stamps are called now, had them in Humboldt County, it would pump about $1 million into our economy and through the grocery stores. Is that a legitimate stat?
Yes, and actually it currently pumps about $3 million a month into Humboldt County economy. So.
in another community that I visited, they had a crew of people that went to residences of people who had fruit trees that were just crazy, you know, prolific, and they picked them for the food bank. Do you have a crew that does that?
We do, yeah. And Nan touched briefly on our fresh produce programs, but gleaning is actually a very large part. So our gleaning program goes out to local fruit trees, people who maybe have too many apples in their backyard. They also work with our local farms. So if a farmer has too many plugs of, say, cabbage that they're not going to use, they'll call us, and our team will also go out there and harvest all of that to bring back to our program, which is really amazing because it's fresh, local, and often organic produce that food banks wouldn't normally have access to. So we do. If anyone has a fruit tree, let us know. We'll, if you have someone to pick it, that's great, but we also have volunteers who can come out and do it for you.
And we get an abundance of zucchini and zucchini seeds.
Yeah, no.
I recently heard about the Hoopah store, the only store out in Hoopah having closed, and that the only thing that's left is the gas station. And my understanding is that there's some outreach that Food for People is doing. Can you talk a little bit more about what's happening there, and what kind of efforts are being made to help some of these more remote communities?
Yeah, that's been a major crisis for the community, and I am happy to report that they're scheduled to reopen the store in July, I believe. Been a lot of folks that have been working behind the scenes on that, but we've been providing food for the pantry that's run through the Hoopah Family Resource Center out there, and our mobile produce pantry. It's our biggest site by far, with often up to 200 people that turn out to get the fresh produce. So some of them also travel into Willow Creek, where there's a pantry as well. So there are some resources, but it has been tough for the community.
Yeah. Another thing that actually happened last summer, and will hopefully continue on this summer, is in Hoopah, we had some really great volunteers at the community center there. Normally, we've always had one of our children's summer lunch sites there, but they looked at ways to expand it. So they actually had volunteers who would drive the lunches around to high density areas where kids could then come to expand the reach of the program. So that was really a neat thing. We sent the food, but some really hardworking volunteers made sure it got to the kids in need.
And UPS was a great partner. They took the coolers full of lunches out there at no charge for us.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they've been fantastic.
Your outlying areas, how often are you able to go out there or Foley and Garberville?
Well, we go out once a month for the mobile produce pantry, and then some of those areas, depending, have programs there in that area. So say Garberville, they have a Backpacks for Kids program, and also we do a senior program out of there. So there's a little farther reach, but at least once a month.
And how big of a space are you looking for?
What, 10,000 square feet or more?
Have you talked to the Harbor District about warehouse space?
Well, we have to be out of the tsunami zone because we are a disaster relief organization. We've been offered a lot of property in the tsunami zone.
Oh, thanks for saying that.
What are the chances?
I'm not driving.
Yeah, actually, well, I said, I know of someone at the airport that might be able to help you, but not after tomorrow.
All right, well, thank you both so much. For your big donation to the wheelchair. Thanks again. Yeah. All right, and then we have a brief announcement. Okay, go ahead.
Hello, my name is, now I know to introduce myself. I'm David Mark Raymond. I am the district's Rotary Foundation Endowment Chair, and have been in that position for a while. You are familiar, Terry's shared with you information about the endowment, and typically I know most of us as Rotarians, when we give to the Rotary Foundation, we're giving to polio, we're giving to the annual fund, and that's wonderful because your investment gets used today for today's problems. But the endowment collects money and then uses the interest and appreciation from that money and puts it in concert with the annual fund to work. And the lovely thing about that is that your money is invested, and it gives, and it gives, and it gives in perpetuity. So in the longer run, there's a little more mileage out of your dollars that go there. You are familiar with the Bequest Society, one of the stars, and there may be others in the room. I would be sorry to slight you. One of the stars for the Bequest Society, somebody who said that I'm going to give service after self. To the Rotary Foundation. So we are carefully protecting her life and wishing her a long life, but there's going to be... Check the brakes on your car, Terry, when you go down there. So that's a wonderful thing, but you don't have to die to give to that fund. If you would be interested... Just look at this one little thing. Life Income Gifts, it's called, and Terry can tell you a lot more, and there's a little literature over on the table. But if you are somebody who has an investment portfolio, then you are blessed. And if you want to share that blessing, you've got stocks probably, you've got bonds, and you have really safe and secure fixed income sorts of things. Money markets and CDs, that sort of thing. They always have you do that to keep it stable. So how much do you think people are making in those money markets and CDs currently? Some money, but it doesn't keep up with inflation. Let's use that as a proper answer. Well, if you give that money to the Rotary Foundation and put it in the Bequest Society, it's like giving away the apple tree but owning all the fruit for your entire life. You can get fixed income for the rest of your life that will start at 5% if you start at the youngest age receiving the amounts. It goes up the longer you defer starting to do that. You can be invested in the market just like us, like the stock market. The Rotary Foundation has a fund, so they have a lot of different ways to slice this so that it will work for you. This is something that works really well, kind of, and I would urge you to give it some consideration. If you're young and in your early years and you're still eating salad and, like many of us started, and can't really afford to make that sort of commitment, think about the Bequest Society, because I'm confident that the younger people who are working and building their businesses now are going to be great endowment contributors. You could commit now that when I die, way off in the future, then there'll be some amount. How about that? Costs you nothing now and kind of gets you in line to do the good things and continue the wonderful things that your Rotary Club has been doing. The people around you would carry forward for you and remember you for what you did. So thank you very much. I am available to talk longer about this, but you pretty much heard everything I had to say.
All right, next up we have a craft talk from our own Vanessa Griffin, so I'll let you take the stage, Vanessa.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Griffin. I am the owner-operator of the Griffin in Arcata. It's in the old Machine Works building where Robert Goodman Wines used to have his tasting room and restaurant. I am the surprise twin sister of Chanel Marto, and my mom wasn't expecting me until after she had my sister. And we have a relationship like Rachel has a relationship. She's my Rachel. She's the overachiever of the family. I own a bar and contribute to the delinquency of minors, and she runs after-school programs and teaches writing to delinquents. Let's see. I brought a couple of people with me, Morgan and James, and they are going to be bringing around cocktails and mocktails.
I'm doing a mocktail.
These are not.
Oh, yeah. Are there going to go mocktail at this table?
Awesome. So let's see. There's a ginger beer and an essential oil infusion in this one. is going to be bringing around the sparkling sativa, which is bergamot essential oil on a sugar cube. There's black pepper and thyme on the glass, and then there's sparkling wine in the glass. So that should keep you busy because PowerPoints are not my strength. I will take any opportunity or excuse to dress up. This is Kinetics. I've been on June Moxon's team for 6 years now. We've been shoes and peas for some reason. And, yeah, so that's a good time. There were flamingos, more birds, whatever, any reason. I moved up to Arcata in 2006 from San Luis Obispo. I went to Cal Poly to study elementary education and hated it. Finished. So I came to Humboldt and to get my master's in English Lit to teach older kids, and bartended my way through that and just kept bartending. So there's that story. I like to run. I don't look very good at the end of runs, like Lisa. We're so fortunate. I'm very slow, but stubborn, so I do marathons. And that is my business partner and good friend helping me out at the end of a marathon. The Humboldt Bay 2 years ago. Hiking, swimming, whatever we can do here. And this is the Griffin after a salsa night. Salsa's been going on in that building for 5 years now, and this was the celebration of it. My business is like a year and a half. We'll be 2 in June, so she has all my attention right now most of the time. And teamed up with the Taco Factory, Armando, who used to own the Taco Factory truck that's in various places around Arcata, runs our kitchen. And so we do fancy cocktails and street tacos and burritos.
So wait, I have a question about that. Are they making it in a kitchen, or does he bring
It's a kitchen.
Okay, and how often is he at your location?
He's there all the time.
All
Tuesday
the
through Saturday.
time. Okay. Excellent.
Any other questions? All right. Please enjoy your.
I have to say, I used to bartend at Avalon, and I think that Vanessa a long time ago, when she bartended at the Berlin. She's a phenomenal bartender and a great friend too. So anyway, check out the Griffin. They have the best tacos. Terry will testify about the food there too.
Oh, all right, yeah. Come on, Peter, pick up.
So Vanessa has completed all of her requirements.
All right, our newest food badger. So how about a toast to our newest food badger? All right, cheers, Vanessa.
Cheers.
All right.
Cheers, Vanessa.
All right, wrap time. Sarah, you're up.
Seven,
776. Who has 776? Michael, all right.
Michael Boring.
Yeah, Michael.
Okay, still a chance. How much is the pot?
$80.
$80.
That wasn't rigged. Look at the ticket.
Is it the truth?
Michael.
Any other general announcements anyone would like to make off the cuff?
I do.
Okay.
On March 29th, the Special Olympics is hosting an event at the RCAS Center called A Magical Evening. And there will be an illusionist there, Gary Carson from Las Vegas. Tickets are $25. We're selling them at the bank, and I believe it's Old Town Automotives in Eureka is also selling them. But this is a wonderful organization that does a lot of amazing things for youth. And I have a son with autism, and these are things that help get them out and active and doing some amazing things. My son is battling with depression right now, and so exercise and the things that the Special Olympics does for kids with special needs is absolutely wonderful and amazing. So I hope that some of you guys can make it, because I heard this guy's amazing. We've sold 400 out of 700 tickets.
Oh, wow.
So I YouTubed this guy. He seemed pretty entertaining. So hope to see some of you there. $25 at beforehand and $30 at the door.
Great. Thank you.
A quick announcement. Some of you may have heard that the city of Eureka is having a big trail celebration on Saturday night at the Wharfinger. And they officially did the ribbon cutting, and they're having a celebration there and a film. And that's going to, and a social hour that's going to start from 4 to 7 on Saturday. And also you may recall I've been involved with the Humboldt Bay Trail Fund. And so, and Rotary's donated to that fund as well. And if you check out this journal, the North Coast Journal, there's a big spread that lists all the donors and the events coming up, the celebration, as well as the meeting at the end of the month about how we finish the trail and connect it between the cave.
Awesome.
Right.
Awesome.
Do it.
Yes.
And then just a reminder that next Friday's meeting is going to be at the Creative Sanctuary at 13th and J Street. Dustin will send out an email announcement in advance, but just want to remind everybody it's going to be a great time to see what goes on there. And there'll be a great breakfast prepared by the staff over there. So please come.
Awesome. Looking forward to that one. Yeah, absolutely. Tom.
All right, maybe last one. Canopy Awards are coming up for the Eureka Theater, and it's a good one. And I like dressing up, and that's it's really fun. I mean, everybody, it's a super good one, and it's a great fundraiser for us. And I hope you come, because I love it. It's my favorite event.
March 4th.
I know, it's March 4th, yes, Sunday evening, March 4th.
Tom, second favorite event.
Make it a fellowship
Second favorite event, well, favorite event in Eureka.
There you go.
And it's now a fellowship event too for us.
Yes.
How about Tom Romney and Jessica?
And we are currently wrapping up coats for the cold and starting to prep for the spaghetti feed. And we're going to the park cleanup tomorrow.
All right. All right. Any other general
What's
announcements?
the date of the spaghetti feed? I'm not quite sure. It's a couple months away.
Oh,
It'll probably be around
oh, you said graduation weekend, that's right.
Okay. Rachel.
I was just wondering where we can get the pancake breakfast tickets. Can we get them ahead of time?
Yes, you can, and if anybody wants to please let me know, because I have about 400 sitting down in my car right now. I will, next week.
All right then. So then that concludes our meeting for today. Thank you all guests and visiting Rotarians. Today without sunshine is like, go night. So we're good. All right, see you later.